All right, before you start taking off all the exhaust system, this is where you have to start. At the transmission cross member, it's going to be 4 21 millimeters, 2 on each side, and then you have a 15 millimeter inside here for the transmission mount. And I like to take the nut off the back, but I like to leave the bolts inside. Let me go do the other side. All right, after you get the 4 nuts off of the 21 millimeter bolts, you're gonna have to remove this vent hose. I usually just pull these up and then just place it out of the way. After that, you're gonna need a jack to support the weight of the transmission, since we're going to be taking off the support. Once you have the transmission weight supported, then you can take out the 4 bolts from the cross member. Just make sure the jack's not in the way for the for when you're removing the exhaust. All right, now that that's done, we're gonna have to take both of the O2 sensor connections off. There's gonna be one up there by the transmission, and then one behind the Y pipe. You're just gonna pull that white tab back, press on it, and slide it out. Okay, next we're gonna have to take off these 3 15 millimeter bolts to the manifold flange. All right, now that we got all 3 out, let's move to the passenger side. This is pretty much what I'm using. It's a 15 millimeter with an extension, with an extension, with an extension. And to break the bars, to break the nuts, I use this breaker bar, and then just finish it off with the regular ratchet. All right, now that we moved on to the passenger side, you're gonna want to start with the O2 sensors again. The first one's on top of the frame, which is hard to see. You pretty much have to just feel it. And the second one is behind the wheel well. All right, after you're done taking off the nuts to the header manifolds, you're gonna wanna come back here behind the third cat and take off this bolt that is a 13 millimeter. All right, once you have the Y pipe out, you're gonna have to remove the 4 exhaust hangers off of the rubber grommets. I'm not gonna video that, but you can, once it's all out, you can take it all out in one piece, even if you have to jack the back of the truck up to get some more clearance. But it should come out on one piece. That way you don't have to cut it. Okay, now that we've finished underneath the truck, taking off the factory exhaust system, we're going to start working in the engine bay. And we're going to first start by taking off this air intake box slash tubing. It's going to be two 8mm bolts, one right there, one right here, and then two quick connect for the valve covers. Okay, once you got that out of the way, you want to come down here and you're going to take these two 15mm bolts out from the steering shaft. And once those are out, you're going to push this up and then pretty much just take this sleeve out and put it out of the way so we can have more room to work in. Alright, now that we got that off, I'm going to take off these valve cover. That way I can start taking off the ignition wires. Oh yeah, be sure to put these back. Okay, now that you have the 4 ignition wires out, you're gonna have to take the oil dipstick tube out, and that bolt is a T25. Now that everything's out of the way, we're gonna start taking off the manifold bolts. It's 5 half-inch bolts. I'm gonna do this off camera because I have to get up in the engine bay. Well, as you can see, we got the driver's side manifold off. The first 4 bolts were pretty smooth, and I was having trouble with that last one because I didn't take the heat shield off, but I found using a half-inch combination wrench with a ratchet on the end worked pretty good, and then I put another one on top so I could get some more leverage, and it worked out. It worked perfect. All right, guys, now time for the passenger side. I'm gonna start by doing the same thing, pretty much just taking this quick connect hose off, taking the valve cover off, and then undoing this little clamp here so I can get these hoses out of the way just to get some more room, and then disconnect the coil wires. Alright, as you can see, we got everything out of the way. We got the coil plugs taken out. I'm gonna start taking off the manifold bolts, but I'm gonna do that off camera because I have to get my big ass deep inside the engine bay. Alright, we were able to get the passenger manifold out. I forgot to mention, you do have to take off this 10mm bolt here to get this bracket out, to get the manifold out. If you pass it through the bottom, if you take it out through the bottom, you don't have to, but if you want to take it out through here, through the top, you got to take this out. All right, guys, today's a new day. We pretty much left off last night by taking off all the factory stuff, the factory exhaust, factory manifolds, and we're gonna start putting in the new long tube headers. Remember to get some new gaskets. Don't be a cheap ass. I want to reuse your old ones because it's gonna leak. All right, got everything buttoned up. Let's go to the driver's side. All right, we got everything buttoned back up on the driver's side. Got the factory air box back in. Now we just have to go to the bottom and finish the rest of the exhaust under the truck. Trying to show you guys the driver's side clearance. They're not hitting, but they're close. Close. You can see it there. And the passenger side's perfect. What's going on, guys? So actually it's been about 2 weeks since we got the headers and the exhaust on. My cousin needed the truck for work, so right when I finished he took it, but I got him to bring it back so we can go over the couple of things that I did to make the exhaust fit. The fitment wasn't bad if we would have left the exhaust, you know, how it comes from factory, but since we wanted to do V-bands off the headers, just so he can prevent some leaking in the future, especially if you want to upgrade later, it's a pain to get the long tubes back off to weld some V-bands on it. So I wanted to do that right away. That way if it does start leaking with the factory clamps that it comes with, I mean, at least we can unclamp and, you know, modify the exhaust without having to take the headers off. That's probably the hardest part. So I'm gonna get underneath the truck. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like and some things that we did to make it fit, and then I'm gonna add some sound clips at the end. All right, we're looking at the driver's side header. Here's the V-band that we installed. This is the only joint that I ended up welding on the truck, just eliminate that clamp, you know, one less area from the truck to be leaking from. On this side is the passenger side V-band. This is how I routed the O2 sensor wire. Have a zip tie here to keep it away, and then up there from factory there should be a bolt hanging out. I pretty much just make an X with zip ties to keep that little harness away from the top of the headers. And even though he's only been driving this truck a week and a half to 2, you can see that this wire here is starting to get burnt from the top. I don't even know where this wire goes to, so I'm gonna have to get some heat tape, see if we can tape it up a little bit further more, maybe tuck it back in a little more, see if we can zip tie it that way so it's not getting damaged from the heat anymore. Here's the X pipe that I was having trouble with. The trouble that I was having was that it seems like the end of the X pipe wasn't parallel. So what would happen is as I would stick these tubes in, the end of the tubes would be touching. So what I had to do is I had to put a ratchet strap from this end of the tube to the drive shaft, and another ratchet strap from this tube to the frame, and just to help me spread it apart enough to get the mufflers in. It was a pain. Since we added the V-bands, it did throw off all the measurements for the rest of the exhaust. So I did have to cut these two pipes 1.5 inches. And the reason I had to cut them 1.5 inches was because the rear hanger wasn't lining up. It was actually too far. I think it was 1 inch. It was 1 inch too far that way, but it was also 2 inches too long up. So it ended up just coming in contact with this top one. It was weird because we didn't mess with the height of the exhaust. So I did have to cut it and shorten it 2 inches, and then with the help of the cutting the 1.5 inches from those two tubes, it was just enough room to push it in with some wiggle room, and that way I can get it into that exhaust hanger. Other than that, on this pipe, on the 90s, I did have to cut 1/2 inch on this left one here. It just wasn't going in. It seemed like there wasn't enough room. So I cut it 1/2 inch so I can get it installed. It might have worked if I installed them first before putting this other pipe in, but I didn't want to undo everything, so I just cut it 1/2 inch. It was enough clearance for me to fit in there, and it ended up working. So another thing I didn't like about this kit is how far the exhaust tips are spread out. The measurement before here in the middle was, I think, 4 to 5 inches. I have a picture, I'll upload it on how it was before. And my cousin was like, dude, I don't like that at all. It looks a little weird. See if you can bring them a little bit closer together. And even though I did bring them a little bit closer together to make them look, you know, more of what he wanted, I ended up making one shorter than the other, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Here we are driving the truck around. It actually sounds really good inside. It's not really, it doesn't drone. You know, all the exhaust systems that we do is or that we buy, you know, we want them coming out the side because that usually eliminates most of the droning. But it sounds really good. I'm gonna get on it here in a little bit so you guys can listen to it. Hopefully it comes out on the mic. Yeah, so it has a really clean, nice, deep, mellow tone. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's not like too loud, but it's not also quiet. It sounds like kind of just in the middle.